This is tutorial 3 using Finale. As with the other programs, we'll start with the setup wizard and create our target score first before importing the music XML file. You'll notice that we could import the music XML file directly here, but then we'd have to go up to the file menu and do the setup wizard. So it can work either way. So let's go ahead and use the setup wizard. There we go. That was a little slow. Okay, and we're going to go ahead and start with a Woodwind Quintet, since I've been doing it in a Woodwind and the others. Remember to change this to A4. This is something we can change as a default later, but right now we'll use this. We are using the engraved style. Right, and so what I want to do is I want to just take out the horn, so I'm going to remove it. Okay, and I don't want to save this current ensemble. I'm going to save as a new ensemble while I'm at it, so I don't ever have to do this again, which is really nice. And we'll just call it Woodwind Quartet. All right, we'll move on to the next one. Okay, so this is tutorial 3. The composer is J.S. Bach, and the arranger is me. Okay, and you can use your full name if you'd like. We'll get rid of that copyright symbol. All right, this is probably in 4/4. I do know that it's in D minor. All right, and we do have a pickup measure in this, and it's going to be about 16 bars. Let's give it 17 just to make sure we have enough room for it all. And so we'll now create our score. Okay, and so there we have a nice looking score here with all of our elements put together. All right, so the next step now we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and import our music XML file. All right, and so I have to go locate that. All right, and so we'll open it up, and it will import. All right, so there we have it. Okay, so there's our score. Now I'm just going to simply copy the music from this to this. Now, could I have changed this? Yes, of course, we could have changed all of these instruments and done that. Editing tends to be more work than just starting from scratch in a lot of cases, and so I decided I would start from scratch. So let's go ahead and select all of this text, all of those notes, I mean. We'll press Command C to copy it. We will click on the very first measure here. We'll press Command V to paste, and they're all in there. Notice that it automatically changes things to the right key. And we are pretty much done with that now. Okay, so we don't need to save that. I'll just get rid of the XML. Oops, I meant to not save that. There we go. Don't save that. We don't need that. All right, so now I have this file here. Okay, and so we need to do some editing. Okay, we don't need these last two measures, so we'll just get rid of those two. And it's all just the delete key. Now, the next step I want to do is I want to go through and I want to find, actually, what I first want to look at and notice is, let's see, I don't really like the key we're in here. I think that's pretty low for a flute. It gets down there. Yeah, so let's raise it up a little bit, and so let's go ahead and start out by changing the key. Okay, and so we'll go up here to the key signature. Instead of being D minor, let's go ahead and take it up to G minor. There, that looks a little bit better. A few things ended up in the wrong place, but for the most part, this is in pretty good shape. I will need to move these fermatas. They ended up below instead of above the notes. And technically, there should be a fermata on every one of those notes, and so we can also do that. Let's go ahead and find so the goal here is to do some form, and is to identify that it's an AABA form. We can play it back. So we can hear that now it's repeating right after this one here. Now there are two ways to do this. We could do the mid-measure repeat, which is actually a little confusing with Finale. You have to use a plugin. And let's see, I believe the mid-measure repeats are under measures. There we are. And so you can enter that in. Since it's such an old style, I mean, it is traditional with Bach to use the mid-major repeat, but I prefer the modern style, which is to use a first and second ending. And so since that's the case, what I want to do is I want to delete the measures that are repeated. And so there are 3 of them. Okay, so da, 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 da. Okay, that measure is correct. So here's where the repeat begins. And then this is the measure that is similar to this one but changes slightly. So we'll get rid of these 3 measures, right-clicking, and delete the measure stack. Okay, and now I want to also then add a first and second ending, so I will go ahead and do that, right-clicking again, create first and second ending, and there you go, and it does that automatically. And then in our first measure, we need a forward repeat bar. Okay, so very simple. So this is all pretty close to being done already. Now we're going to click and move this down. Let's go ahead and do a couple of other things to fix this up. Okay. So first we're going to handle the fermatas. One way of dealing with the fermata, we could just simply move it up, click on it and drag it up here. But that's not going to help me because I need it on all of the staves. And so rather than do that, I'm just going to delete it. And then I'm going to put it in so that it ends up on all of the staves. Using the articulation tool down here, if I hold the F key down, which is a shortcut for it, and here let's just click on it first so you can see. You see here are the list of the articulations, and up in the right-hand corner there will be shortcut keys for a lot of these. Some of them are really obvious, like S for staccato, and A for accent, and F for fermata, and others are a little bit more difficult to remember. So if I select the F, it'll select the fermata, it'll put it there. But I'm going to cancel it. Instead, I'm going to use that shortcut by holding the F key down, and then I'm going to drag a box around all 4 notes that I want to put the fermata on, and there it will be. And so we'll do that for all of those fermatas there. And another one here. Oops, missed. Okay, and here. And then the last one at the end. Okay, and then the very last thing I want to do, I'm going to go back to the selection tool using the escape key as my shortcut and get rid of some of this extra text here. All right, and so now it looks like we're pretty well done.